Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video let's do the review of this Asus ROG 5 smartphone. And guys, the earlier phone was the ROG Phone 3. There was never the 4. Directly they jumped to the 5. And guys, in this video we'll dive between the pros and cons, but I would strongly urge you to watch the FAQ video that I posted a week ago. That was almost a 20-minute long video which answers most of the common questions that you guys might have. So again, let's dive between the pros and cons. And first, let's talk about the good things that are the pros with this device. And the biggest improvement, I would say, compared to the ROG Phone 3, I would say, is the screen quality on this one. This is a gorgeous screen, guys. This is 6.78 screen. Yes, it's a big phone, but the screen quality is really good on this one. If you noticed, ROG Phone 3 actually had that black crush issue in dark areas and when you kept the brightness to very low, but in this one that's not the case. So they have completely solved it. And according to Asus, this is actually a custom screen that was specifically made for this smartphone by Samsung. So they have fixed it, and this is 144 hertz. Again, you can even set to 120. It can go up to 144 hertz. It's a full HD. So a very good screen, guys, and it's also HDR certified. So the experience of watching even videos and stuff in very low brightness was very good on this one. So in terms of screen quality, they have just fixed everything, and this is a very good screen. The next thing is regarding the speakers. Again, if you know, ROG phones always had a pretty loud speaker, and let's just play this. And I'm going to increase the volume, guys, to give you an idea. Just notice it, how loud it gets. This has to be one of the loudest speakers that I have seen on a smartphone. Let me increase it again. It's just insanely loud, I would say. Let me lower the volume. And the thing is that, yes, it's not only loud and the suppression is very good, but it also has slight depth and bass. So I would say in terms of speakers, they have done an incredible job. Next thing is, again, regarding the UI, some of you have asked me. This is the UI that Asus is using on this one. And I would say, if you notice, this is almost close to stock Android. It's actually stock Android UI, as you can see. Even if you go to the settings and stuff, it's stock layout. What they have done is they have just added some layers towards this. For example, they have their own app called this Armory, Crate, etc., because this is a gaming centric smartphone. But in the core, I would say it's very close to stock Android. Yes, it also has some additions. For example, this RGB lighting, you can enable it. If you go to system lighting, you can enable this and all these things. So, but at the core, this is very close to stock Android experience that you will get. So I like that. If you always like that stock Android experience, you'll like this one. The next thing is regarding, it's having the Snapdragon 888 SoC. Again, because of that, it's very, very fast and fluid, guys. And I have to say, this might be one of the fastest Android smartphones as of now. I don't have a lot of other smartphones with the Snapdragon 888 chipset. I had this OnePlus 9 Pro. So I ran some benchmarks to give you an idea. And if you notice, this ROG phone got significantly higher scores, 7,96,000 compared to 7,35,000. Both are having Snapdragon 888, but as you can see, this ROG phone definitely one of the fastest Android phones that you can get, and that shows in performance also, guys. The performance was very good, never had any hint of lag or anything. In fact, it also has this mode called, if you go over here, this is known as X mode. It has something called X mode in this one. Again, yes, it has everything, bells and whistles, NFC and all these things, 8 triggers and all these things, and you have even this thing called X mode. It even tries to overclock the phone and all those things, but I never had to use this X mode even in gaming, guys. By default, it is that fast. So it's a very, very fast smartphone. Another small thing that I like on this smartphone is that it's having an AMOLED screen, so it has this always on display and everything. This works, as you can see. You can even customize it. But I also like the fact that here we also have a physical LED notification light, which is sort of missing in most of the new Android smartphones. I'm old school, that BlackBerry days and stuff. Just looking at the phone from far away, you get an idea, you have an important notification. So we have small touches like that. And this one has this in-display fingerprint scanner. And again, as you can see, it's a fast in-display fingerprint scanner that you are getting with this smartphone. Also, coming to another thing is the haptic feedback. The haptic motor, I feel, is very well done on this one, and it's a powerful one, and you can even customize it a little bit. So people who are a little bit picky about haptics, they will appreciate the same on this one. And of course, this is a gaming centric smartphone. You have this 8 triggers. You can even customize the side profile. So actually you can customize up to 4 buttons here. So for gaming, it's a very good experience. I played quite a bit of Call of Duty on this one, and the experience was very good, I would say. I was mostly coming at the top, and that's thanks to these 8 triggers, I would say, because after some time I got used to it, and that definitely gives you an edge. And also you have some gaming accessories that you can buy separately to add a lot more functionality. So in terms of gaming, I would say this has to be one of the best gaming smartphones out there. So definitely, if you're a gamer, it's sort of a no-brainer in my frank opinion. Now, if we talk about the battery life on this one, this was a good thing. This has a big battery. It's a big phone. It has a 6000 milliamp hour battery. In fact, they divided the battery into 2 parts, 3000 milliampere here, 3000 milliampere here. So it's total of 6000 milliamp hour. And I have to say the battery life that I was getting on this one was actually really good, because as I've told you, I even have had used this OnePlus 8 Pro, and OnePlus 8 Pro, I was never happy with the battery life. This is almost a 2-day battery life, 1.5 days. This I had to charge most of the time in the evenings. To give you an idea, the battery life stats, I have saved some battery stats to give you an idea. And if you notice, at the end of the day, I used 46%, that is 22 hours away from the charger. And we had a screen on time of 5 hours. And I was always using it with the ambient display. That is, I never shut this off, guys, with this always on. So with this one, even after 5 hours of usage, I still had 46% battery life. That is 22 hours away from the charge. So easily was giving me about 1.5 days worth of battery life. And I also tested this one only on mobile data. And here, this is just with mobile data. Again, morning I took it out after 22 hours. As you can see, it was at 48%, and we got a screen on time of what, 4 hours, 46. This was completely on mobile data. So again, the battery life is very, very good on this smartphone, I would say. I was worried with the Snapdragon 888 chipset after using this one, but nevertheless, I would say the battery life is very good on this smartphone. So you don't have to worry about the battery life, even if you're sort of a very heavy user. Easily 1 day, and for most users, I would say 1.5 to about 2 days. I was mostly using this smartphone, guys, as a normal user. I don't do that much of a gaming, but even for normal usage, I would say it's very good, and that way you'll get a battery life of 1.5 to about 2 days on this one. Now moving to the camera, it has a triple camera setup. The main camera is 64 megapixel. It's a Sony sensor, guys. That's the IMX686. Then we have a 13 megapixel ultra wide and 5 megapixel macro. Front is a 24 megapixel. And here are some of the sample shots that I have taken with this smartphone. And I have to say the 64 megapixel Sony sensor, as you can see with these sample shots, is actually doing a pretty good job. Even for human skin tones, I would say this camera is producing some very good results, which was surprising. Outdoor shots with the regular lens come out good, but the wide angle, I would say, could have been improved, and I would simply not use the wide angle lens in artificial lighting conditions. Regular shots surprisingly came out decent even in artificial lighting, which I did not expect, as you can see. And these were some of the samples taken with the front facing camera, again in artificial lighting conditions. Again, I'll be very fair, it's not the best camera smartphone out there. If you want the best camera smartphone out there, you can go with the Galaxy S21 Ultra. That is superior, but again, that's a different league, I would say. But nevertheless, I would say the camera on this one is pretty decent, I would say. And here are some of the videos also that I shot with the same, so that you can have a quick idea. Recording the video with the rear facing camera, and you can record even up to actually 8K. This I've set to 4K, and there's the stabilization option, guys, but if you click that, it was going to full HD, so I did not enable that. But looks like even without that, this is actually in 4K. It's actually doing a pretty good job. But if you want more stable video, then I guess you can click that stabilization option. But it's reverting to full HD. This, by the way, was shot in 4K. Another sample, guys. Now what I've done is I've switched to that wide angle lens, and you can shoot the video. And I'm shooting this video again in that 4K mode. So do let me know what do you feel about the quality of the footage. Recording this video with the front facing camera of this Asus ROG Phone 5, and I'm recording this at full HD. Though the resolution is 24 megapixel, we don't have an option of 4K, which is very strange. I hope they implement that with the software update. But this is the footage, and the audio is also being recorded via its internal microphone. So cameras, I would say, pretty decent. Yes, it's not the best top end, but again, gets the job done, I would say, if you're a normal user. So these were the good things about this smartphone. Now let's move to the cons that I have noticed. And the first con is that if you guys have noticed, this is a big phone, almost 6.8 inches, 6.78 inches. And because of that powerful stereo speakers, 6000 milliamp hour battery, it weighs 243 grams. So it is a heavy phone, and it took me almost 7-8 days to get used to the weight of the smartphone. So if you don't like heavy phones, then you might not like it, but if you can bear with it, then I would say the performance is good on this one. But certainly it's a heavy smartphone. The next thing is it does not have any IP rating on this one, so no waterproof rating or anything on this smartphone. Next thing is it has a lot of accessories. As I've told you, this is the aero cooler. It has a port, you can attach it and all those things here. But the thing is that some of these accessories, you also get gaming pads and all that stuff, but these accessories can get pretty expensive if you are a hardcore gamer. So the accessories are certainly on the expensive side. And this is a minor bug that I noticed on the smartphone during the last week when I used it continuously for 10 days. It happened to me 3 times randomly. Everything is very fluid, that's not a problem. Memory management is also very good. It doesn't boot out apps and stuff out of the memory. But what I had noticed is that this is the Google feed, and left you go, you get it. This happened to me thrice, once every 2 odd days. I was using the phone normally. I was just scrolling like this and it just rebooted. And this happened, and I could not reproduce it. So this happened to me 3 times. But just yesterday, in fact, I got a OTA update. It's too early to say if they have fixed that bug. I think so, that's a bug. If you saw, I got this new OTA update, and from yesterday again I did not notice that issue. So maybe it was a bug, they have fixed it, but I thought I'll be transparent and let you guys know about the same. Internationally, this smartphone is being sold with a 65-watt quick charger, but in India the charger what we are getting is a 30-watt quick charger. I thought you guys should know that, but that 30-watt charger also charges it very quickly, but I wished we also got that 65-watt charger. So these were some of the nitpickings and cons that I have noticed with this smartphone. Again, watch the FAQ video if you want to know more, guys. There I have answered most of your questions. And regarding heating, some of you have also asked me because the OnePlus 9 Pro used to get quite hot. I would say with the regular use, it does not get as hot as the OnePlus 9 Pro. I would say regular usage, hardly I noticed any heating on this smartphone. So that's nice. But when you run benchmarks and stuff, yes, it can get very hot because I feel it goes to the X mode in that overclocking mode, and that way it can get hot. Even gaming, guys, as I've told you, I'm not a super hardcore gamer. I played Call of Duty for almost about 30 minutes continuously on this smartphone, and the phone got slightly warm in this area. Yes, and even the rails got slightly warm, but I wouldn't say it got uncomfortably hot or something like that. But still, if you are sort of a hardcore gamer, do gaming continuously for 1 or 2 hours, you have that competitive kind of a thing, want to use this in X mode, then I would suggest invest in this accessory. After putting this one, the phone ran considerably cooler. That is what I have noticed. And regarding 5G also, many of you have asked me what are the 5G bands supported on this one. This one actually supports 11 bands of 5G. So whenever 5G comes in India, that's next year, rest assured it will work with all the networks. That's a big improvement, I would say, compared to the OnePlus 9 Pro that supports just 2 5G bands for the official variant that is sold in India. So overall, I would say it's a very good smartphone, even for non-gamers, if you're okay with the big size and the weight of the smartphone. I like the battery life, the screen quality is really good, and the speakers, I would say, has to be one of the best speakers that I have experienced. So even for consuming multimedia content, it was a very good experience. And as I've told you, if you're not even a gamer, but you always wanted that great battery life and a flagship smartphone, then you can have a look at this one. But if you are a gamer, then this one is a no-brainer. Anyways, guys, that's it for now for the review of this smartphone. What do you guys think about the same? Do let me know about the same. And I'm currently testing this Poco X3 Pro, so I'll also be posting the full review of this one very soon. So if you're still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.